Hey everybody, it's Mike Messier. In case you're tuning in live or on the replay, so a lot of people are kind of pissed right now at Nia Jax and making obvious jokes about Nia Jax and blaming nepotism for her even having a contract, being very angry with Nia for hurting Becky Lynch. And yeah, if you watch that replay, if you find the phone cameras from the fans or the slow motion tapes. I'm just laughing because people put a lot of interest into it, as well they should, I guess. But yeah, it's a very stiff shot. Nia punches Becky very hard on Monday night, resulting in a very sad injury, bad timing for Becky. I do think Becky will be back, but it's a serious injury. But I want to put some insight into it. I only had a few matches of wrestling and a very minor league level, not much training. But on my very first wrestling show, I was in a battle royal. It was actually kind of a version of the Royal Rumble. It was a local promotions version of the Royal Rumble. So I had my standard regular match earlier that night, came back. And I just remember being in that battle royal, not much training for me, obviously a lot less training than Nia Jax had, but just the chaos, the confusion, all those bodies flying around, not much of a script going on. And I accidentally headbutted a guy. And when I headbutted him, I remember grabbing him and just it's almost like there's so much going on in a battle royal or a schmoz as Nia was in. You don't have all these spots worked out. You don't have points in the match worked out. So you're kind of just grabbing stuff, an opponent, throwing punches. Obviously, you're not supposed to hit somebody for real. But in that situation, when I headbutted the guy, I didn't realize it because the adrenaline, the momentum. But in the dressing room after the match, after the show was over, the guy said, "Hey, you stiff me," And he was joking around. He was a real good sport about it. But he just let me know that, hey, I could have really hurt both of us worse because a headbutt's a terrible move. If you think about it, you're honking your skulls, which has your brains in it. Um, so lesson learned. I took the headbutt out of my repertoire, and like I said in other videos, I didn't really wrestle a whole lot of matches because I wasn't getting trained and I wasn't getting paid, quite frankly. The one show I did get paid on was a show in Connecticut. I was on the undercard of a King Kong Bundy show, and so the point was, folks, just trying to say that Nia Jax in this situation where yes, she did hit Becky Lynch. It might have been a thing where and pro wrestlers, real pro wrestlers that wrestle full time, part time, whatever, they'll tell you that battle royals, schmazes, break aparts, those things they hate because it's not very well scripted for the most part. Yeah, we've seen a couple of good women. We saw the good women's battle royal at Evolution apparently, and the all in battle royal with the men was well mapped out. But for the most part, battle royals and chaotic things like the other night happen so fast. And some people are now saying that there was backstage heat with Nia Jax and Becky Lynch. I don't know if that's true or not. That could just be conjecture. It could be something the WWE threw out there in order to put some heat on Nia and try to make this thing something. I have noticed that as I know as of now, I don't think Nia has done any public apology on social media or anything. Maybe she feels so bad she doesn't want to do that, or she's afraid of getting the Brie Bella thing with the backlash. But people are taking a lot of pot shots at Nia right now, and making fun of her weight, everything that they can say because they're pissed because everyone loves Becky right now, which is fine. Becky's doing great. Hopefully, she'll be right back in path. But I guess what I'm really trying to get to, guys and women, is that in the heat of battle, yes, it's not a real battle, but if there's any time a situation where your adrenaline kicks in and you have a fight or flight instinct, and yeah, we get it, it's predetermined and all that, but it's like stage combat. If anyone ever has been in theater, sometimes you're on a live theater stage and you're in a fight scene, and sometimes there's human adrenaline that kicks in that you work yourself into a shoot. I don't know how else to explain it. You'd have to have been in that situation where you've got a script, you're trying to protect each other, but if you really get into character, sometimes you blur that lines. And I think what might have happened with Naya is that the lines for that split second in her mind when someone touched her from behind, which Becky did, um, Nia might have reacted um, instinctively, meaning that for that split second, even less than a split second, she thought she was really being attacked by somebody. Not that she didn't even think about it cognitively. She didn't have a decision-making process like, oh, this is a fan that's attacking me from behind, or this is Becky Lynch and I'm going to punch her for real. It was like her body. This could happen to anybody. You know, your body reacts in ways sometimes that your mind doesn't want to. Your emotions don't want to. You're not trying to hurt somebody, but if you're a fighter, whatever the fuck, it can just happen. Shit fucking happens. Is this different than the Brie botch? I think it is because the Brie botch with the kicks to Liv Morgan were more of a methodical, mistimed thing. This situation with Nia and Becky Lynch was more of a rapid, chaotic accident. Um, that's my point. If it was a one-on-one match with Nia Jax and Becky Lynch and maybe this would be a different story. You could definitely make a case against Nia. And other people have pointed out, and I can't remember this stuff, but I guess Nia threw out, was it Ember Moon at the Women's Battle Royal, and Ember got a concussion or something, or some type of injury. And apparently Nia did something with Bailey, which I just heard this stuff today. I think on the Alvarez was talking about it. I'm wondering what's going on with Alvarez and Meltzer, if anyone knows. I do like those guys. They have a funny chemistry. But anyway, just wanted to share my opinions on this situation. Give a little bit of slack here to Nia Jax. If you disagree, if you think that she should be fucking burned at the stake or something, I'm going to have to disagree with that. I think it was an error. But I think that, like I said, in a schmoz or in a battle royal or in a situation where there's a bunch of bodies flying around, sometimes that instinct to fight kicks in more so than common sense or rational thought. That's it, MikeMessier.com.